Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Planet Tyro. You're back here with me, your host Donald Wonder, to continue the celebration of International Animation Day month right here. And I want to again thank T-Kun for this recommendation, because we're going to go and visit an animation director we've spoken about in the past. In fact, last year, I actually spoke about this director because he was the same fellow that directed the African folk story that reminded me of The Legend of Zelda to a point, that was called Kirikou. I'll put a link in the description to go back to that video. It was a very interesting film series that's very successful. And the director we're going to be talking about, in case you don't know, is Michel Ocelot. I'm always a bit wondering if I pronounce his name wrong or not. And the movie we're going to speak about is the 2011 French animated movie feature called Tales of the Night. Now, this is a very interesting movie because this movie is actually set up into segments of short stories. And when the movie starts, you can see that there's a young woman, a young boy, and an old man in an office. And they want to tell these stories. They're making up these stories, and they use this kind of machine to dress themselves up and give a performance. And that's what these short stories are. So it's an interesting way to tell the story. And there's 6 stories, and these stories feel like really good traditional fairy tale, something you'll see from Disney or something you would read in a book. I think the first one had to do with this werewolf guy, and there's one that's got to do with this boy who's a monk. There's 6 different stories, and depending, I think some of the stories are hit and miss. Some I enjoyed, some I didn't, and again, it's kind of, it's a mixture of different types of stories, so it will vary. Now, the first thing I want to mention is the animation. The animation style used for this movie is a computer CG silhouette style, which is really interesting. We've gone back to silhouette because if you remember, one of the first movies I spoke about was that Prince Hamid movie, which was paper silhouette. Now we're looking at computer animated silhouettes, and it was an interesting style choice. And at first I was a little bit disappointed because I couldn't see the characters' faces, but I liked what they did with it. But the backgrounds they put against the characters in these different stories were very colourful, really nice on the eye, and it complemented the silhouette. Now, the reason why the silhouette bothered me sometimes is because, you want to see the facial features sometimes. You want to see the finer details of the character designs, but it was a stylistic choice, and it does work, and it does give it a bit of a flair, but sometimes I did want to see what the character designs were actually like, but they were going for that style. But again, I felt a bit wanting sometimes, but it's an interesting silhouette style with the CG. It blends together well, and again, they do use the backgrounds and you can see their eyes, but I don't know, for me it was lacking a little bit. Now, the stories themselves, the stories are okay. You've read these kind of stories before. Some of them are more interesting than others, like I like the werewolf one, I like some of the other ones as well, but these are kind of atypical fairy tales. Some of them are cautionary tales. It's all fantasy at the end of the day, and it's okay. I guess the thing that distracted me from enjoying this a bit more was that I couldn't find an English dub version. It was in the native French language, and French is a beautiful language to listen to. I have basic comprehension of French. I understand a lot of the words because I learned in high school, secondary school. But it would have gelled more with me if I heard it in English. But I can still, that doesn't really hinder the movie at all, but I just wish it was in English so I could have just digested it a little bit more well. But the French was fine. It was overall this is a competent movie series. It's a competent compilation of short stories that would be fine for children, okay for adults. I heard when the movie was released, it was actually released in 3D. I think that would have been interesting to see the silhouette and the colourful background animation in 3D. I think it would have enhanced the experience. But as it is, I have to commend the director, Michel Ocelot, for doing something different, trying something different, because with Kirikou, he's done a 2D animation style, and now we're seeing, again, I like to see them experiment with animation and tell different styles. I would have actually liked it if there was a couple of scenes where maybe it was reversed, the characters were not in silhouette, but the backgrounds were. Just something to mix up a little bit, because I know I'm going on and on about this, but the silhouette style, it was good and it was interesting. But if we go back to that first movie again, the Prince Hamid movie, they were twisting the silhouette and making it really weird, like this puppetry thing. I wish they went the extra mile with it, but for what they did with it, it was fine, and it's unique on its own standing. And again, I don't really rate these movies. I think it's pretty okay. I think it's a standard movie. There's nothing really to dislike about it. Looking at some of the ratings I saw from the other reviews, people were in the middle. They liked it, they didn't like it. I just think it's a decent movie to watch. I really want to look for an English dub because I like to show this to my nephew. It's a good family movie, and the short stories, you know, some of them you might like, some of them you might love, but overall, it's interesting. It's added something different. And again, Michel Ocelot is a very well-renowned, well-respected animation director. And I think this is a good movie to check out. So, you know, guys, if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. Again, I want to thank Tyro for all these recommendations. Hopefully, I've uploaded these videos in order. So we went through 1, 2, 3, 4. This should be the last one. Tyro, thank you very much. And if this is the last video for celebrating International Animation Day month, which I plan it to be, maybe not. Thank you guys for watching. Again, subscribe to the channel if you like our content. You can see the other annotation on the right there to all the other stuff we do. It's been a long month. It's been a huge month, and I want to thank you guys for all the support. I love animation. I love doing this, and hopefully next year we can continue. Leave your recommendations for anything you think we missed or anything you want to share with us down below. And that's pretty much it, guys. So until then, I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace out.